Boom! How's it going, everybody? It's your boy. Boom! Bang! Whoa! But you guys can just call me Deshaun. You know, Rizava's World. Rizava's World. You feel me? I'm back with the podcast.
You said it's gonna be a long with something like, and they do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a setup.
All right.
It was a self-lob.
Yeah.
No T-Mac.
Yep.
Yes, sir. You already know what time it is. It's time for the podcast. We're here with the Don, who I was gonna say you've seen in the last podcast because we have recorded one before, but the file didn't work and it messed up and it was gross and it sucked. But we're here now. You know, Don, I appreciate you coming by. Sipping that apple juice.
Yeah.
Feel me? That's how it is.
Get them
we got the boy, the Don. Don, how are you doing today? Let me know.
Man, we chilling like a villain off a little penicillin.
Hey, I'm a
That's
little
just how we
penicillin.
feel.
Okay, that's how we feel. Okay, the Don with the bars. Those of you who don't know, if you didn't watch Banana Brandon's forecast podcast thing, this is one of the closest homies right here. We've done a couple podcasts on Banana Brandon's channel. I was gonna link it, but then I realized he doesn't do YouTube anymore. Recipes to go. But we got him here today on the Afro Podcast. Good to have him. He has an afro just under the hat. Trust.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Don. Let's just go ahead and get this out the way now. How are we feeling about the Warriors after the last game? How are we feeling about our playoff chances? How we're playing? What's the problems? Just how are we feeling?
Warriors in 6.
Warriors in 6. No, for sure.
Every series we good.
Every series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're gonna beat the fuck out of the Mavericks. Can I cuss on this?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, but fuck them. No, so yeah, Suns are gonna choke because they got Chris Paul. Chris Paul's gonna choke. We all know that.
Yep.
Nothing new.
Facts. I mean, they might lose to Dallas.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're gonna choke because they have a game 7. Chris Paul game 7 don't happen.
Oh, I thought you were saying that they were gonna move on and then choke to us.
No shot.
Okay.
So yeah, we got Warriors Mavericks, Warriors in 6, then we got Warriors Bucks, Warriors in 6. So
yeah, out of all the teams, like who would you be more afraid of, Boston or Milwaukee?
Boston,
first matchup.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, they're nasty. They're
Tatum
freaking
and Brown and Marcus Smart. No thanks.
That would be pretty tough, especially then you have Jason Tatum, who's like, I mean, he's been established in the league for a while, but like, I think he's showing it even more so in these playoffs. It's kind of like when he was young, he was going against LeBron and crap.
And he dunked on him.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, back when they had Kyrie, because Kyrie thought he could carry a team.
Well, yeah, now he's just playing GTA, so props.
Now he's doing what all of us can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty cool. What's your feelings on Kyrie's career? Like, a lot of people say he's a top 10 point guard. Nope. When you don't think he's a top 10 point guard? I think if you look at him like in a vacuum, just off the talent and skill he has, like what he can do, you could say he's up there. But what he's done in terms of accolades and the story behind his career, I don't think he's top 10 either.
What has he done by himself?
He's done nothing.
When he was on the Cavaliers by himself, they were lottery picks every year. Yeah,
well, I mean, he won Rookie of the Year. Well, I mean, that's not a great accomplishment. I mean, it's cool, but, it's not crazy. That's all Damian Lillard has. That's tough.
Man, he's from the Bay. Okay.
I know he's from the Bay, but to me, he's overhyped. I don't know how he cracked the top 75 list. Somehow he made it. I don't know. Anyway, I mean, he did good on those early Cavaliers team, but he didn't make any major impact.
He got him the first pick 3 times, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he did deliver that.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, that's what feeds into why another reason why Steph's the best point guard is because he created a dynasty around him, and they saw that in him. And it's not like they couldn't do the same thing with Kyrie. Like there's no way.
They tried to in Boston.
Yeah, I think. See, but another thing I was thinking about the other day, this whole Brooklyn losing or getting swept goes to prove and gives us more credit that having KD on the Warriors wasn't so crazy. Because they tried to do that with KD and Kyrie, the most skilled point guard, and they had Blake, DeAndre Jordan, Andre Drummond,
Harden for a little bit.
They had LaMarcus Aldridge for 5 games.
Yep.
Harden, all these players. And it didn't work, but and when people are like, well, Steph got carried those 2 rings, no, you don't understand. For that to work, Steph has to make it work because that's his team at the end of the day.
Yep.
And they had a losing record without Steph versus without KD. So, I mean, that just goes to show. I mean, this just turned into more Steph love, but Steph deserves more credit and love than he gets from other players and other hardcore fans of the NBA who are just people who just don't like a smaller, light-skinned dude beating their team and creating a dynasty.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It happens.
It's tough.
It does.
So So yeah, you're predicting Warriors in 6 in every single one, and then you think at the end of this season, after the Warriors win the ring, you think it's undisputable Steph is the best point guard ever. Like it's not.
Yeah, I don't know what else left there would be to argue at that point.
Yeah,
That's 4 rings, 2 MVPs, first unanimous. He'll probably get Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Like you got All-Star Game MVP. I don't know.
I mean,
leader.
I mean, we're keeping it a buck. The way I see it, the way people say Magic Magic is the best. Yeah. If you flip Magic and Steph with that Showtime Lakers team is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Magic with this Warriors team, their offense it'd be good, but he's kind of doing what Draymond kind of does already, just like a 6 foot whatever, like a facilitator. Yeah. I mean, granted, like, yeah, he's gonna in this current era, he could probably be posting everybody else up and whatnot, but I don't know. I feel like he's not gonna be able to keep up, and I feel like Steph would obviously get bumped around, but I think he'd be fine. Especially imagine you're trying to double Steph at the 3, and then he just tosses it down to Kareem, which is come on now. Yeah. So that's I agree with you. Of course I think the Warriors are gonna win, but even from an objective standpoint, I still have my confidence in them. I think the last loss is whatever. Yeah. I didn't watch the game, but I'm sure they're probably just gonna learn a lot from that and whatnot. Do you think? Because obviously the Grizzlies are playing insane without Ja. Do you think they'd be better off without him? It's really tough because Ja's ridiculous.
Well, their defense is better for sure without him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good closer for them.
Yeah.
But if they're able to close out games without him, then his value kind of goes away.
Yeah. If you were a GM and you could you're managing the Grizzlies, would you trade Ja now in his career when he's so promising? You could probably get another really good player that might fit maybe the team better, but Ja kind of built that team a little bit, at least the feeling of it. Or would you keep him, and what would you do with that?
I'm trading him because I'm afraid it's going to be a D-Rose part 2. Maybe not to that degree. Mm-hmm. With the way he bounces, I don't see that translating for him too well after 30. Yeah,
especially... And
he's already kind of had injury issues.
Yeah, and he's not a shooter.
No,
he can shoot, but he's not a shooter. Right. So he can't fall back on that. So we see what happens with Westbrook when he doesn't have more athleticism than anybody.
Yep.
He kind of freezes and locks up, and the Lakers season is mainly due to him because he doesn't. You need a team built around Russ, but a team built around Russ doesn't win.
No,
they don't win a ring. That's crazy. People put him in the top point guard. That's insane. I don't even put Westbrook up there just because he doesn't win. If you told LeBron, don't worry about winning, just get a triple double every day, he could do that.
Yeah.
Or if you told T-Mac, don't do anything, just straight score, he could probably average 40. But, there's other things that go into winning the game, like playing defense and all that. And Westbrook doesn't do anything. He just loses games and has a triple double and is cool with it, and then gets offended when he's like, "Yeah, keep that same energy, keep talking," and they lose, and he's like, "So,
why not?
Shut up." Yeah. Westbrook, your team is looking very good. Are you guys gonna lose? Why not? Let's go. Everybody loves my shoes and my super cool fashion. People say he's the most well dressed in the NBA. His clothes are like Kanye's personality. They're just all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You're just what was that one I sent you? It was he had the little top hat and all this other little stuff in the tiny room.
Or something.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Steampunk mofo.
It's weird because people put on something like steampunk and people are like, wow, that's so artistic.
That's vintage.
Easy. Just because it's old doesn't make it vintage. Golly. All right, moving on. So I wanted to talk a little bit because those of you who don't know, this is the dawn. This is the dawn of our city, of our state, really our country. This is the dawn.
If you want to take it there.
I'm just keeping it a buck.
Yeah.
Use code DAWN at McDonald's for 10% off your McNugget meal.
Yep.
Dude, that'd be sick if they gave you a Dawn meal where you just get nuggets and ranch.
It'll happen. Trust. Sweepstakes for a Tessie.
That's what I was gonna ask you about. So you have a Tesla now and whatnot, saved up a lot to get it. For those people who are listening, because there's a lot of people who I talk to nowadays who when they get a job, they just spend their money on shopping and whatnot. They don't save very well, and Tesla's not cheap.
No.
So what is the mindset, and like how did you go from from like not having a job, I guess, till you get your first job, then you see something like a Tesla. How do you go from that to getting a Tesla?
I mean, I started saving when I was first job at Roundtable.
Mm-hmm.
You just take a little bit, like if you're making what 700 paycheck, take 100 out.
Mm-hmm.
Just build that up, and then I dabbled in the investing a little bit. That's kind of you just gotta do your research on that, and try to figure out what the trends are.
Mm-hmm.
Buy low, sell high. It's pretty basic.
Right.
And then tax returns too. Like that's a really easy way to save your money because it's like money that you don't really expect.
It just kind of hits, and it's a lot.
You'll know it'll be like a good amount, but you never really know how much.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't need to spend the money to pay bills with that, I would just say put that aside, build that up over time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not gonna be quick.
No, for sure.
You just let that sit and build it up over time, and then you have a good amount.
Mm. Yeah. So the car you got before your Tesla, you didn't like that much. I mean, it was like goated because it was like it was your car.
It was my first car.
Yeah, it was your first car. You're like, oh man, the little thing. But you basically had to drive a car that, like some people would make jokes about, and you would even make fun of it yourself. But you just kept your head down and you stayed focused. Like, okay, for sure. And now, I mean, you're like driving like the equivalent of an iPhone. Like it's like the most crazy. I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast where he had Elon Musk on there. And he's talking about like the Tesla isn't supposed to be like the best car. It's supposed to be like the most fun machine ever made and whatnot. And so obviously they keep adding stuff to it, which is lit.
Yep.
But people gotta like realize that for you to get to something like, I mean, we could even broaden it. If it's not a Tesla, it could be like a new house or it could be anything really. Like if you were trying to get a better car, first of all, if you're worried about the way people think about what you drive, most people don't even remember or care. Like nobody was like wake up like, oh man, Don's car, or like they don't wake up and say about my car. Like my car's beat up and whatnot, but I got my car. I straight paid it off the moment I got it. We just bought it because it's cheap, it's used, and it gets me to and from work, and it lets me save money. So people like settle and pay monthly for a car that's like cool. Like a little Accord, something. It's cool. It's a cool little car. It'll work. But if you want something big, you got to be willing to just like put in the time and whatnot. So yeah, I just wanted you to spit some game to them youngins out there, because who knows when the next time we're gonna be able to do a podcast? You'll be leaving soon, huh?
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Over winter and stuff. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we won't have to make a podcast happen, but we gotta spit some game for the youngins out there. If y'all are just getting a job. Or, or if you were getting those stimuluses and spent them in the week, you got them, you got to save. Mm-hmm. Even if it's a little bit. Even if you only get paid $100 every week, somehow that's illegal. But even if you only get that, pull out 20 and just something. Sometimes it's just the habit of just putting something aside. Yep. That's the tough part, I mean, we have our, like, Don and I share, like, something that we used to waste money on with PAX.
Shit.
We all have our own little demons.
Yeah.
But save your money.
Also, just on that, find like for the car. I mean, Teslas are cool, but they're also like really affordable to take care of, and you're not spending money on gas, which is at like $6 a gallon now, which is crazy. But it's like, so save your money, but then buy something that's gonna be like really efficient and cool. Mm-hmm. Like I could go like, oh, I want to go get a BMW. That's gonna be in the shop like every couple months fixing it, and then gas prices and all that. So it's like
facts.
You gotta think about stuff a little bit.
Facts. That's a really good point. Like it's not like you just bought a Tesla because obviously it's what you like.
Right.
But like he said, like to take care of it and the managing of it is very minimalistic. I mean, to fill it from like 0% battery at just a Tesla charging station. Yep. Like even if you don't have like a garage where you can charge your car, you could just keep going there. How much you sell? Like $14?
Yeah, it's like $15, $20 if you go during like peak hours to fill it up to 300 miles.
I mean, like the hard part is getting to that initial down payment or whatever. The easy part is you reap the benefits afterwards, which, I mean, obviously it looks sick, it drives fast, and it has a lot of good features and tech in it. But the thing is you're going to be able to drive that car for the next 10 or so years until, if you want, they make a new one, then you want that one or whatever. But I mean, once you pay it off, you could even trade it in and sell it and get that next one. So it's just like you got to get over that first hump, and then you'll be good from there. But like he'll be able to drive that car forever. So that's another really good point. Throwing that in there. All right, Now let's really get down into it.
Right.
We're gonna be talking about music from here on out.
Oh boy.
So if y'all aren't here for the music smoke, go ahead and click off.
Do
It was
like
nice
this
seeing
guy,
you.
just dip out.
Come on, just hey, you see it on it? Dang, it looks so clear in the
Bing
PC. Let's talk about "Come Home, the Kids Miss You." Jack Harlow's most recent album, super marketed and hyped. There's a lot of excitement for and whatnot. Devin, when it first landed in your ears, how did you feel?
See, it's tough, dude.
Whenever you start something like that, I know it's like you're trying to not offend people.
It's like I see Jack Harlow and I'm like, you know what? That could be Devin if I had got my bars together, right? You know what I mean? If I had the curly hair, I could be rapping out the testes like whatever the bar was he had.
Facts.
And then I'm like, oh, the album cover, clean, simple.
Yeah.
Fuck with it.
It kind of reminded me of like what was the Mac Miller album? Like Swimming or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
It's just simplistic, white background, just a simple little thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? Maybe he just like took his time on this one, really thought it out, and then it's just like, okay, that was kind of a filler song. Okay, that was.
It's a filler album.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's tough. It's a tough listen.
It's a tough listen. I've been watching reviews on it and whatnot because I like watching people's reviews on music and whatnot. Like I listen to it myself, talk about it, usually like with my girl or somebody, and then I go watch reviews. And somebody was saying like you can tell Jack Harlow isn't an album rapper yet. Like he can make like a little hit, like a little trendy song. Like to me, Jack Harlow's album was like if Drake made Hotline Bling, but like that was the highlight of the whole album. Like to me, that's what like First Class is. Yeah, it's super annoying, but I mean, it's like
it's cool.
It's like a little TikTok song you want to just dance to real quick. It's extremely surface level rap. I listen to it with my cousin because I work with my cousin, and so we like do the AirPod share thing where we both listen. It's crazy, the tech. So we were listening to it, and I was like, okay, there's a couple little cool like beat switches here and there, but he sounds the same on every single song. People talk about the Drake feature. I didn't like it.
I thought it was pretty good.
I didn't like it. I don't know, but because to me, it's like just hearing that, it kind of I'm starting to get hit with the same thing that you get hit with when you listen to like a new J. Cole thing. You're like, all right, this again. He just sounded kind of like uninterested in it and kind of like following. I mean, I guess he's kind of following the way Jack Harlow sounds, where he almost sounds like he's like, like I don't even care, but I'm a rap because that makes me sound even cooler, because like I'm just like nonchalantly rapping like, it's just another day in the office, just another day in the booth. And I was like, I don't know, I didn't really like it. Like I listened to a lot of other Drake's like features and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, that's way better. But when I heard that one, I was like, eh. But maybe it was just because the whole album was so whack that I was already over it, and so when I heard Drake, I was like, oh god, I just want to get through it.
I was talking to one of my friends, and I said it's effortless in the wrong way. That was
absolutely
my way of describing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when you hear like a Biggie freestyle, it's just like it sounds effortless because it's like you are just made to rap.
Yep.
Like he just comes up with all these schemes, and you just sitting there bobbing his head.
Or Andre.
Oh my
like
god.
They're complex, but it's like you could see him literally just like getting in the booth and just going.
Dude, right after we listened to Jack Harlow's album, I asked my cousin, "What'd you think?" He was like, "I don't know. It's like a 5 out of 10. It was like really average." So I played him ATLiens for his first listen. He never heard anything like that before. Well, I mean, he's heard like rap. He listens to like NBA and stuff like that. Current rap, and obviously he's heard like Hey Ya and whatnot. Right, but I was like, no, you need to listen to this. So I played him ATLiens, and he was like, oh my god, this is hecka good. And I was like, so what do you think of compare that to Jack Harlow's? He's like, oh, it's like a 2 out of 10 or like a 1. Like this isn't even the same discussion. And I think I've said this on the podcast before, but people really need to go listen to all of Outkast's like full disco because their whole like everything's good, but like those are like not like ATLiens, Aquemini are insanely good, crazy, and then then of course all their hit singles and all their other stuff after that were good. Yeah. But it to me it was the most surface level rap you could possibly make. Yeah. And when I say surface level, I mean like you rhyme words, you have a hip hop sounding or trap beat, and then you talk about hip hop themes. That's to me that's surface. That's just like this is what hip hop kind of is to like a passerby. Like if it was like in a store, you look at it through a window, that's what that is. But when you really want to dive deep into it, that's when you start getting into like, some of the reasons why people say Drake's the GOAT, but they only listen to like his trendy songs. They don't listen to like his Hotline Bling and his freaking Tuesday Slide. And I'm like, no, you got to go deeper than that to find out why he's the GOAT. You got to go through the albums, the full things. I need to go through his stuff again. Now, I mean, we're gonna talk about the GOAT right now. We just go. You know me, I'm biased. You know me, Kendrick to me is the GOAT of all time, any genre. But I'm curious. I don't want you to have any bias just because I'm here. You don't have to hold any punches. What did you think of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, the double album Kendrick released? Technically today? Technically today. How we feeling?
It was cool.
It's cool?
I was a little underwhelmed, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I think coming off a Damn, maybe the bar was set a little too high to follow up.
Mm-hmm.
It's solid though. That's where I'm at right now. Maybe it'll grow over time more so. I don't hate it, but I'm not like flipping out listening to it on repeat.
Right.
But it's good.
What do you think Kendrick brings to the rap game, or like means? Like what is his legacy? Like what do you see Kendrick as? Because I just realized, like, I mean, obviously we've talked about Kendrick and rap in general just all the time. So I know your opinions, but they don't know how you feel about like any of these rappers and whatnot. So like, you know, his favorite rapper is Drake. Like that all time.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Okay, your favorite's Drake. So what do you think Kendrick is best at in rap? Just like give me your feelings on Kendrick Lamar, just in general. That's tough.
I mean, obviously his lyricism is pretty top tier for the most part.
Yeah.
I think he represents kind of like a little glimpse into like the old school rap, but he's been able to make it appeal more to the newer crowd.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why he's kind of stuck around and really been a big forefront in rap. He's definitely up there all the time. I don't really know where at. He's not. He's not my top rapper, but he's easily top 10. You could go maybe top 5, but that's gets a little tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on this new one, one of the things I didn't like was I feel like he's trying a little too hard to appeal to the newer crowd.
Okay.
Like he kind of went a little overboard on the Baby Keem type songs. Like I forget the name of the song, but there's this one song. Oh God, I don't.
The
you
one
know
that's
what I'm talking about?
The one that's on there.
He like does this weird ad lib, and it sounds like a Playboy Cardi or like a kind of weird ad lib.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
He just keeps repeating it over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it doesn't sound right coming from Kendrick.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's my issue.
Okay. Oh, what did you think of The Heart Part 5?
That's solid. Like I like that. When Kendrick just raps, that's all I need from Kendrick. I don't need him to try to be anything that he's not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was hella cool, and the video was dope too.
So you think so you recognize he's a legend for sure. He's already certified Hall of Famer. Easily top 10, not even up for debate. So when you have, and then to me at least, he hasn't had a miss on an album. I mean, you could argue his earliest stuff if you wanted to, like Overly Dedicated and maybe Section 80 if you're not too into like that album. But for me, like Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn is like the greatest 3 run of all time because there's so many. They all do different things. So then obviously the bar is set ridiculously high. I mean, people were basically expecting this to be the greatest album kind of like of all time because we haven't heard from him in 5 years.
Yeah, it's been.
And there's been a lot that's happened in that 5 years. So you think it was good? Like you compare it to Jack Harlow's album, they're not even in the same discussion.
Fine, yeah.
But when you compare it to when like Drake, J. Cole, or Kendrick drops an album because they're considered one of the GOATs, you compare them to the GOATs. So the bar's higher. So you think it's like good, but it didn't hit that like holy crap, this is a masterpiece that exceeded my expectations type of thing.
Yeah, I would say I got it above J. Cole's last album.
The Off Season, or are you talking about the
Yeah.
Gorilla Girls mix? Oh, okay.
Yeah, not even really.
Or the
listen to that
Gangster Girls.
mixtape, But
It's cool. That's cool.
yeah,
I know somebody who probably loved it.
Who?
Wow, who? Maybe Banana Brandon. Hey, dude.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I mean, like, I think because Kendrick and Cole are more similar than like Kendrick to Drake. I think because like Kendrick and Cole are more on the conscious rap type vibe.
Absolutely.
So I think he did a better job of what J. Cole's trying to do with his album, in the sense of like moving towards a new direction in his music.
Right.
But I'm biased, so I still have Drake number one just off the replayability. Like I can be in the car and I can put on Certified Lover Boy. I can be doing homework. I can put on that. Like it's so variable in when I can put it on. I can be shooting hoops. That's what I like about that, the versatility.
Yeah.
So I'll see. I mean, the Kendrick might grow on me. It might be, we'll see how it goes. But I would say CLB and Kendrick, and then J. Cole after that, at least for these latest albums.
Right. Okay. So now for my take.
Right.
On the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll give some context leading into it.
Okay.
My expectations were at an all-time high.
Right.
Because obviously, I mean, I wasn't a Kendrick fan throughout all the releases of those albums. I really loved All Right when he released T-Pap. I love that song to death. I liked Damn, but didn't listen to it like religiously as like I do nowadays. Like I only became a hardcore Kendrick fan probably like 2-3 years ago, if even that. So I'm pretty new still. So obviously, when he dropped The Heart Part 5, first of all, I didn't hear any of the other four. I had no idea there was
I
even
heard
that.
the fourth one, but I don't think I've heard the first three.
That song was freaking ridiculous. Just absolutely just like a work of art, basically. And that's what Kendrick gives you. Like you said, Drake is something you can put on basically any time. To me, Drake he has like a lot of hardcore and like objectively very good lyricism and whatnot, like bars. But to me, he's like somewhat surface, but with passion and with like the right skills and abilities to do it respectably. Because like anybody can listen to Drake and get into it. Well, not everybody, as we know. Some people hate the way he sounds, the way he looks. He just hates him. Yeah, for real. But in my opinion, he can make like, I guess I shouldn't say service. I'll say accessible rap.
Yeah,
like,
no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and then Kendrick makes like for the hardcore, thought provoking. You need time to sit and like not be doing anything and just listen and read the lyrics and pick apart the ideas. He makes that. And to me, J. Cole's in the middle. He kind of teeters back and forth a little bit. Where
he doesn't excel at either. Is my problem.
He's like a jack of all trades, kind of thing, like
but master of none type thing.
Yeah, I think the best thing about J. Cole is, it depends on when in your life he drops something and if it speaks to you. Because to me, I feel like people who are diehard J. Cole fans, he speaks to them because at a certain point in their life they heard a song and they heard the way he's rapping, like Love Yours and stuff like that. That connects with them when they were really going through some stuff.
Yeah.
So, obviously, when they hear his music and whatnot, they're going to be diehard fans. But to me, like, J. Cole's at his best when he's like giving you a look into his life, or you're just getting like an idea of what it was like in the struggle, but also when he's kind of connecting to you on a personal level. And Drake is like when you're just kind of feeling yourself, but also when you're in your sad boy hours. He has a little bit of everything. And Kendrick doesn't have. Kendrick is. I mean, he could make a decent rap song, but to me, I don't think he could make like a Tuesday Slide or whatever. I don't think he could do something like that. I don't think he could do that.
I kind of want to see him try it just one time.
Low key on the was it Family Ties, where he was like hitting that little. He's kind of hitting that. I was kind of hyped. So but I don't think he would make something that's that kind of like accessible or replayable kind of like bubblegum. I don't know. So when I heard The Heart Part 5, first of all, when I just heard it was ridiculous. And then when I saw the video, it was ridiculous. And I read the lyrics to listen to it, and it was like I unpacked it. So then my expectations got higher.
Right.
To me, there isn't a song on the album that went that deep into the way The Heart Part 5 did. That like bag where it's just like thought provoking and just like, dude, how? Oh my God, like what? I mean, everybody felt, when he put on Kobe's face, people, oh my God. Woo, that hit and then of course when you put on Nipsey's face and to my brothers and my kids, I'm in heaven. I was like, oh my God, like, I don't need to be in flesh just to hug y'all. I was like, oh, stop it, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
However, it was a fantastic freaking album. It's his fourth best in my opinion. It's still behind the 3. I don't think it's as good as the 3. I was a little disappointed and underwhelmed from the first listen. I loved it to death, but I was like, this is going to be the next T-Pap. This is going to be the next Kid Mad City. It wasn't any of those. It was its own thing.
Yeah.
I like the Baby Keem stuff. Like when he let Baby Keem do that interlude. To me, that was just like, I loved that so much. That was amazing. I loved it. It's weird. I didn't think I was gonna like that song where it's like him and that like girl arguing the whole time. First I was like, bro, what are we doing? But like I don't know. I've listened to it like 4 times and I didn't skip it yet. I think it's gonna get old pretty soon, but it's cool. I think he had a lot of really great bars and a lot of like things that you could really think about, but it's not on. It doesn't have the storytelling of Good Kid, Mad City. The way it's so like one big story. It doesn't have the fluidity of To Pimp a Butterfly, which is literally like basically reading a novel front to back. Like the most ridiculous. To me, it's still like a masterpiece, a work of art where you just have to dissect it. And then Damn is just like a collection of fire singles that kind of go together, but like it's mainly just it's kind of like a highlight reel. So it didn't do any of those better than any of those. But it's like a decent mix of everything. I think and it's grown on me more the more I've listened to it. I liked it more and more. I think let's see, I think Mr. Morale is the second. Like you listen to the first half, then it's that second half. Because the last song, I think Big Steppers, the last song is that arguing the couple arguing. I think that's stronger. But I wanted more. I wanted more like, I don't know, deeper, harder hitting songs or more like songs that I could replay all the time. I don't know. It has probably one of the least amount of replayability values on any Kendrick album, but it's still another goated album for me. But I'm also extremely biased, so it is what it is. I think it's for surely better than the off season. It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. I think it's better than CLB, but I think they do different things.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
So it's like they're not trying to directly compete. And that's also kind of what I like about like Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick is it seems it's weird because, you know, they don't try to like diss each other and be like, I'm better than both of them. They'll have a mutual respect like, yeah, we are the GOATs.
Top 5.
And Kendrick does be smoking on people's top 5s, but their top 5s be like, yeah, NBA and Polo G. And it's like, okay, dog, like, all right, dog. Relax on that. Like, I mean, even in J. Cole's last little mixtape, he said, like, he had a bar where he basically said, like, Drake and the Dot, yeah, them superstars to me. And I was like, yeah, they are better than you. I mean, I would put probably Kendrick, Drake, then Cole, but I would say newer Cole, because I feel like, you remember how well, I guess we don't have that footage anymore, but you were saying how it sounds like J. Cole just kind of like run out of stuff to say.
Yeah.
And when I listened to that last mixtape, I listened to it with my girl, and she was like, it just sounds like he's bored now. Like, he doesn't have anything to say. Yeah. And that's another reason why I think Kendrick's album is so good, is because he doesn't make an album unless he has something he needs to say, or wants to say. He doesn't just put something out to put something out. And I think J. Cole kind of oversaturated a little bit. Sounds kind of bored to me. I think Drake is starting to get into that a little bit.
He's getting to that point, but he's smart, because what he's done is now he's like, oh, I'm so rich, I don't even have anything to talk about. So he's like doing like the Jay-Z kind of like, oh, I'm just richer than everybody.
Yeah.
So he's kind of been able to skip through that. But
yeah.
He was getting close to that.
Yeah, it's like on some, like CLB in general is kind of like, okay. It's you said you changed your thoughts about CLB. Let me hear what you think about CLB real quick. Like, how does it hit you right now? What are your thoughts on that?
I was talking to one of our friends, Trenton. Shout out T-Dog.
Shout out to Trent, dog. I meant to say the shout out thing when you said we worked at Roundtable.
Oh, yeah.
My bad, Trent.
But anyway, he asked me how I'm feeling about CLB now that it's been out a while, and it's grown on me, because I went through it, and I'm like, there's only maybe 2 or 3 songs that I would absolutely skip through if I was listening to all the way through. Mm-hmm. Everything else, like, you can find the right occasion for it all the way through. Mm-hmm. The second to last song is like called like Fucking Fans or whatever. That shit, good off that. And then he has some song with like, I think it's Thames, who's a really good singer. Or no, it's Yebba, I think.
I don't know.
Some singer, and it's just like an interlude that's like, it's cool, but like I don't need it.
Yeah.
But everything, even like the Too Sexy with Future and Young Thug, I hate that song most of the time. But there's that time where like
Full Circle, where it's so like, dumb and bad.
You drain a 3 off like some crazy bank shot, and you're like,
dude, say that.
You know what I mean? You feel it.
You know, it's funny you say that, because like that, and then the Girls Like Girls and whatnot.
That one's like, it's cheesy, but then at the same time,
it's
like,
so
but it
bad.
It slaps though.
It's so bad. It goes all the way around, and you're like, actually, I kind of like it. Like,
so yeah, that's right. And then, so there's like those tracks.
Yeah.
Then you got the track with Jay-Z, where like that's like hella chill. Like after work, I'll just be driving home blasting that. Mm-hmm. and that has like decent quotables in it.
Yeah.
And then you have the intro and the outro are both like pretty much just bar heavy, with like some pretty decent bars in them. So I like those, and then the Travis song that one's pretty hype. So it's just like there aren't really any misses except for like those 2 or 3 tracks on there. So I think overall it's a 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Which is pretty strong. I mean, I don't think he's ever gonna top Nothing Was the Same or Take Care.
There's no way.
Or even if you're reading this, like that's his 3-peat Kendrick style.
Oh yeah,
Those 3 in a row.
That's what I was gonna say is like CLB.
But it's a good recovery.
Yeah, it sounds like CLB kind of hit you the way this one hit me, where it's like, it's good, you know, obviously, but it's hard to beat that 3 run.
Yeah.
Because that's just like legendary, where it's like, dude, he does not miss on these freaking projects.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that's wild. I agree pretty heavily with that CLB take, because I remember when it first came out, I was like, this is cool, and I took it over Donda for sure. And then I listened to Donda more, and I listened to CLB more, and then I was like, it kind of depends on what you're a fan of. Like, you know, if you just kind of, if you like you said, you know, you hit a 3 and then you just hit the too sexy dance, which that should now be an emote in like 2K or something. Something like that. Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah. Like, I would probably have more instances on playing CLB than I would to like critically and listen to Donda. So if I want to critically and listen to Kanye, that's not what I'm gonna go.
No.
I'm gonna go to, obviously, you know, College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, 808s and Heartbreaks.
That one I'm not.
I love that one.
I can respect it, but I don't really play that. But like Graduation on repeat for sure.
Oh my god, dude!
I was bumping Can't Tell Me Nothing on the way here.
just the beginning. Nah, nah,
also,
nah,
the fact that he never gets a Young Jeezy verse, he just has him go, "We paid." That's
you can't tell me not. Oh my god, that album has so many bangers on it. Especially, I think my favorite song on there is probably Flashlights.
No,
just because that's what I like.
Well, yeah, no, Kanye's production's like undefeated.
Yeah, well, that's the first Kanye song I listened to, and I had my iPod shuffle, and I was like listening to it. I was like, "Who is this?"
Oh.
Yeah, that and Stronger. I was like, "Wow."
Oh, I hate that song. It gets so overplayed.
No, it like I can't listen to it consistently, but I'm still am a huge Daft Punk fan just from my childhood. Yeah. So when I hear the 2, I'm like, huh. And that was my favorite song. But no, it's definitely like I'll listen to it once. I'm like, I never have replayed the song after I listened to it. I've never been like, wait, play it again. Like, no. But yeah, that's crazy. So now I want to get into, we talked about who the 4, I guess, Kingsmen, the GOATs currently of this new generation: Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. Mm-hmm. Would you give an honorable mention? What? How many's on Mount Rushmore? 4? Who's the 4th on the Rushmore?
I was taking history class in senior year.
I think it's 4. Who's the 4th GOAT of this current generation of rap? It's tough.
I don't know.
I was trying to think about it. I don't listen to enough current rap to really know. Like, to me, Kanye is still kind of in his own era. Like, I don't put him in that newer generation.
I don't think of him as a rapper even, really.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, it's come out that he doesn't, like, write a decent amount of stuff, which, I mean, that's a whole other thing. But it's like, I just listen to Kanye for the beats and, like, the structures of the songs more so than, like, his actual rapping ability.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever spit a lyric that I was like, oh, wow, that really hit me. And, like, I really got to think about life now. And not in the good way.
End up apologizing.
You know, actually, I forgot about that one. That one did just hit me. Now
like, that one's, like, hard, but it's, like, that's not even a word.
Yeah, no.
Let me know if it's a problem, man. I ain't gonna holler.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe Travis is, like, in the same bag as Kanye. Like, I listen to Travis for the beats.
I like Travis for the beats and, like, just the vibe in general. Yeah. Like, his merch and all that is, to me, it's so, like, just fire.
But, like, I wouldn't consider him one of the best rappers.
I wouldn't take him seriously as, like, he's not a top 10 rapper for me. But my mind is in the old school, so, like, you know, I'm not going to put him over, like, Biggie and Andre.
I don't know if there is a 4th right now.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's still up for interpretation. I think one person who I really, like, really heavily mess with, I really like Mac Miller, but obviously he died, so that's pretty sad. I don't get the full appeal to Lil Baby. Doesn't hit me like it hits everybody else.
I kind of get it.
I like it. It's cool, but
it gets me hyped up. I'll say that. any other scenario, I don't really listen to it. But, like, if I'm going to get hyped up for something, I'll put on some Lil Baby. Like, again, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, his bars are insane.
I think the most insane bars he had is when he did like that during like the Black Lives Matter protests and all that. Yeah. That was pretty crazy. I was like, dang, I did not expect you to have all that. What the heck? But I don't know. Like when people are like, no, he's the best rapper out right now. I'm like, is he really though? Is he though?
Yeah.
He's up there. Like if I had to pick like a newer rapper, probably be him. But I don't know. I try to appreciate something about every rapper, but I don't know.
I'd low-key put Vince Staples up there if we're going off just rapping ability.
I would put him in an underrated list. I don't like Rushmore. You kind of have to have like being known by everybody and also being able to be respected by everybody. Vince Staples to me is super underrated, but he can for surely be up there, for sure. I haven't listened to his full discography. I've only listened to that album where I think the cover's just like a face. I don't even remember the name of it.
Oh yeah, this last one.
That was good. It was really. I listened to front to back. I was like, I didn't need to skip this at all. It was a great listen, but there wasn't anything on there that made me like, I need to listen to everything or I need to go back. So maybe I'll find that in his older stuff or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So I don't know who the fourth one is, but what do you think? Each one, like each of the three goats, what do you think they all contribute to? Like when are they at their absolute best? Like what are they their best at? I mean, I know we kind of talked about it earlier a little bit, but I want you to like really be like, this is like, and then like I know your list. I know it's what Drake, Kendrick, Cole. Let me know, why is it like that? What do they bring? Why are they so freaking goated to you, Mr. Don?
Let's see.
Start off from bottom to top.
I'm trying to make it into a basketball comparison.
Okay.
Is that my better?
Yeah.
Drake is like LeBron.
Okay.
Like he just puts up stats in every category, and he wins a lot of chips. Kendrick is like a Curry. Like he does what he does better than anybody.
Okay.
He might lack in some areas to be more like generally recognized for like making hit songs per se. And then Cole is like I know Brandon's gonna like come through that door and just knock the fuck out of me, I already know. Be some slam like
it's all
WrestleMania
good.
Type shit.
It comes out how it comes out.
Rumble. Brandon's coming in. Oh shit.
Dude, I should make a Royal Rumble with my friends. Oh, that would take so much time.
Video idea.
Let's go. I'll make you just 7 feet tall.
J. Cole's like a Joel Embiid.
We got LeBron. We got Steph.
Right.
And then Embiid.
No, like when he's on his shit,
he's on it.
Hella good. But he's kind of
it's the consistency.
Kind of shaky consistency wise.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the best way to compare it.
Okay. I would say if I was doing that comparison, because obviously my list is, like I said, Kendrick, Drake, Cole, but it also kind of depends on how I'm feeling, because I would listen to J. Cole's, some of his albums front to back more than I listen to some of Drake's, but I also haven't listened to Drake's as much as I would listen to the others, so I can't fairly compare them. I would say to me Kendrick is like, probably, I don't want to say he's Jordan, because to me he's Jordan, but I'm trying to look at this objectively.
Right.
He's kind of like, no, you know what? I would say Kendrick's like LeBron, where he's like, he's getting to those levels of those GOATs. Like, he's getting the accolades and the respect from all the legends who, they're talking about, like, LeBron is one of the best for sure. But they just can't give him the best because all those older heads, have their legends. Like, they talk about, like, Big Daddy Kane and, like, Rakim and stuff like that. To me, Drake is kind of like... To me, Drake is like Steph, where he does a lot and, like, deserves a lot of credit, but he also gets a lot of unnecessary hate and, like, flack on him. But he's, like, also loved a lot, but he's also hated on a lot. So it's, like, And to me, J. Cole is, like... Tim Duncan, kind of, where it's, like... He does great stuff in big numbers, but it's, like, kind of boring to watch it happen.
You thought Joel was better. Call him... Man, okay.
I don't know. It's just the most random name. I didn't know what you were going to say.
Someone calls me Tim Duncan, man. That's tough.
He's goated. He's a legend.
He's just boring as shit and plays with Sam.
Yeah, no, he's like a legend, but, like, Like, would I want to watch Tim Duncan play every single day? No. But would I want to see Tim Duncan play when it's the biggest stage? Absolutely. I'm like, he's just not exciting.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm good with my comparison, man. Shoot.
Yeah, you're good. So, I mean, it is what it is. I
Hey, man, you remind me of Tim Duncan. That's just kind of crazy. But,
it's like a backhanded compliment. You're like, dang, what did you mean by that?
You're like a Toyota Camry.
Yeah, you drive well, but like, I'm not gonna pick you over anything else. Toyota Camry. You're a retro 6. Like, you're respectable in certain colorways, but you're not my go-to. Dude, we gotta do like a list of those. He's so dumb.
That would cause so much shit. People would get pissed.
That would. I don't know. Do you want to talk about the thing you suggested?
No, sir.
Why not?
No, sir. I don't need those comments. I'm good on that one, G.
I'm not big enough for you to get those.
I'll find a way.
All right. I'll talk about it in the next podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
The next podcast, I'll talk about the whole.
Like, I ain't lying by anything. That's
Hey.
Just saying.
Hey, I'll talk about it on the next podcast.
Yeah.
I'm referring to the Johnny Depp Amber Turd.
No, fuck it, we're here.
We here? Are we doing this, Don? Speak on it.
Next time we do, it might not work. Next time we do a podcast.
Hey, we might be canceled by then. Go ahead. Let's get canceled. Speak on it. What's your take? What did you tell me?
No, so there was this video of this chick like impersonating Amber Heard and like kind of making light of it, like how she's like acting in court, like doing all these crazy expressions and stuff, and like all the shit she's saying. Mm-hmm. And my only thing was like, so if you flip the roles, and it was a dude acting all crazy in court like that, and like lying, like making all these crazy emotions.
Johnny Depp pooping in the bed and whatnot.
Yeah, like would people be joking about it as much, or would they, like, oh, this dude's like a nutcase, like that's fucked up, that's like. So it's interesting how that works out. The whole situation is fucked, but
yeah, the whole situation is crazy, and I think it's an important case. Yeah, because for once, and especially it's a well-known celebrity, male celebrity, being abused by a female celebrity, and it's so blatantly obvious, like, what the decision should be made in terms of like legally and whatnot, and it's so obvious that Amber Heard is. I don't know where she found her lawyer or attorney or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, they're probably getting a good check.
I think they're Johnny Depp fans, and they're like getting a fat check while also making sure that he wins.
I would like low-key. I would represent her just because I know that we're gonna lose anyway, and I'm getting paid for it. Yeah. So it's like it's kind of a win-win.
Absolutely.
Even if you lose, you win type thing. But I don't know. Yeah.
It's important because this is gonna be kind of like. This is gonna change, or it's gonna bring light to like a situation where, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's as common for the woman to be like straight lying about the guys doing to her whatnot. I don't know. I don't know the stats. I'm not even gonna get into that whole bag because I just don't know enough. Yeah. But I would say in general, most of the time it's usually pretty right, and there's also a lot of unreported incidents that women, or just people in general, go through. But I think it's even more important because it's very rare for it to be the woman's the one who's obviously in trouble getting canceled. Nobody likes her, and then the guy is the one that like the people's champ. Yeah. I think you're right. I think if it was Johnny Depp was hitting her and like
shitting in her bed.
Yeah. Which
yeah, no,
Daisy.
That's like
at least it's not on their chest. It's an inside joke. You guys are gonna get it.
You gotta use that for the fucking
for the real.
I need a picture of that reaction. Jesus Christ.
All right, I got you. That one I'll have to get the reaction to you when I did my intro because y'all. I was actually listening to one of my old podcasts and I was talking. You asked me what my favorite memory we had, and it was the first time I did when Sophia went to the bag counter and I yelled and it, like murdered you. Anyway, I think it would have been like, dude, it would be like the biggest movement of cancel culture ever. It would be constantly in the news. Yeah. Johnny, like, prior to is it Caribbean or Caribbean? Because everybody always says Caribbean when they're not talking about the movie, but when you're talking about the movie.
That's true.
I don't know. It's one of those weird things.
These are the real questions that we should be asking.
Yeah, screw the trial. Why do we pronounce it like... No, I'm kidding. Like, there would be, like... Oh, my God. Just the tone, you're right. It wouldn't be like, look at how dumb she is.
Yeah, it would be like, oh, that's like...
But if it was Johnny Depp, it'd be like, look at what a monster he is. Yeah. He pooped in the bed. I mean, obviously, there are the people like us who would make light of any situation and like dark humor and like really savage stuff.
Which I think is fine in like due time. Like I think OJ jokes now are funny as fuck.
Yeah.
'Cause, like it's been like what 20 something years.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone knows who did it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, it almost seemed like he took it as a joke the whole time too. Like when he was going for an interview about it, and he knocked on the door and he's all, reet, 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 reet. Have you seen that? Yeah, and it's like, okay, OJ. And then he did the book like, if I did do it or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like, what?
So anyway, but yeah, it's like heat of the moment. I don't really think that's appropriate to be making like light of the situation when the lawsuit's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wish we would keep the same energy.
You're just saying like, okay, it's funny when it's a girl doing it because it's so crazy, it's wacky, it's like whoa. But if it was Johnny Depp who was hitting her, pooping the bed, doing all these other things, if those audio recordings were reversed and all that, it would be a totally different mood. And I think you're absolutely right about that. So hopefully people also take away that from this whole situation. I think it's such a crazy thing to come out. Like, that's just so insane. Like, how are you going to do it to Captain Jack Sparrow? It's just wild. I liked how when somebody asked, like, who was Johnny Depp in the movies? And they were like, he was Captain Jack Sparrow. And he, like, smiled. And I was like, yeah, that's right. You know you're the GOAT. Honestly, if he wasn't in those movies, I don't think anybody would be watching him like that.
I haven't seen
any of them ever. And I've
seen the first two or three, I think. I think they tried to do one without him or something. I don't know if they actually made it or not. I'm not watching that bullshit.
Yeah, I couldn't afford to go to the theater, so I tried to pirate it. Anyway. Yeah, well, hey, we talked about it. Now that we're getting canceled for your J. Cole take and your, the trial take and whatnot, let's go deeper down the rabbit hole. How do you feel about, no, I'm just kidding. Just start asking you about misogyny and whatnot. Let's just cancel you before you go to your full college. Just do that. So you walk on campus and people are like keying your Tesla and stuff like that. Oh, can you imagine that? You show up, and people just, this is what we get. This is for Amber Heard. What would you do? You just come outside and there's like some dude, some like frat boy, just keying your car.
Well, mostly I ain't going outside today.
I got murder on my mind. No, all you gotta do is call me.
Oh yeah.
But hey, Deshaun.
Yeah.
This dude's keying the Tesla. Pulled down. Boom! Bam! Boom! Boom! What the? Anyway, you guys, we've talked about everything for freaking 52 minutes.
That's crazy.
It has been a pleasure. Don,
hey,
my dude.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you coming by, bro. It's
Anytime.
always fun, especially talking about music and whatnot. Man, I really wish the freaking first podcast was still there. That was such a good. So many good things. I don't know, but we'll surely have to have you back when you come visit back.
Sure.
When do you leave again?
First week of August.
Sheesh.
I got 2 months.
Oh, we can do another podcast by then. I mean, you're gonna be super busy leading up to that, but we can find.
Yeah,
there's got to be a day. There's got to be a day. So we'll have you back for sure. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and remember to subscribe, like, do all that crap. Do you want me to link your Insta down below?
No, they already know.
No.
If they don't, then it's all good. They need to know.
If you know, then you know. If you don't know, then you didn't need to. All right. Well, yep. If you guys have any thoughts, opinions on anything we talked about, drop it down below. Again, these are all opinions. Crazy enough, and you can have a different opinion.
You can.
It's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy world we live in.
That's
it's just your fault that your opinion's wrong. So
yeah, I mean, it's your bad. It's all good.
It is what it is.
Better.
Is there anything you want to say before we go?
No.
Well, that's the Dawn cast.
Yep.
Catch you guys in the next one. Catch you on the Drip Drop Flip Flop. Don, I appreciate you again. See you guys in the next one.
Yep.
And it's been your boy. Nothing but love. Blah.